Hey guys, I'm here at Tackle Kingdom. Gonna shoot a little video this week on me fishing some Urchin style baits. Gonna do some testing. I have no favorites. I'm not sure which ones I'm gonna prefer over the other. I'm gonna show you guys how I rig them, how I use them, and we'll see what the results are at the end of the week on which ones we prefer and which ones we think are better or for certain situations. So we're gonna start off at Joe's store here, grabbing some Urchin baits off the shelf. So I'm gonna start with some of these smaller Queen Tackle ones here to try. This is like a 10 mil, and I'm gonna do some 15 mil as well. Also grab onto a couple of Coikes. Yes, as you can see, Joe has lots of 17 mil Coikes. We'll throw one of those in. And I'll do some of the Seto baits here as well. We'll give one of these a crack as well. So 17 mil Coike, the 19 mil Seto baits, 15 mil Porcupine, and I think this is a 10 mil Porcupine. So we pretty much got every size of that. And then we're gonna run over here to some of the Unis. Try natural, like green pumpkinish color, and probably one of these gray ones as well. We'll try just something different. And then I'll show you guys how I'm gonna rig them. So we're gonna head on over to here. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab some of these talisman hooks. I really like the talismans. I'll grab a 2/0 size 1 hook. That looks like a good one. Oh, I've got too many on the pack right now. Come on. We'll grab some of these decoy weights. We're gonna do the 1/8. We'll try 3/16. We'll try for the heck of it. And we'll try a 1/4. We'll grab all 3 of these. We'll try another hook too. Let's try, I'll try the Sniper Finesse. Let's go a little bit bigger. We'll try a 2/0 Sniper Finesse. And then we're gonna grab a couple more weights. We'll try here some of the Picasso ones that Joe has. The screw-ins. Some of these right up here. 1/16 we'll try, and a 3/32. Give these a go. We'll see how they work out. Okay, here we go. Let's try the sand one out. We're all swimming around the boat right now. There we go. There's a good one. The Queen's Tackle right there. That's the sand colored with the Picasso screw weight. Nice chunky monkey. Look at that sucker. And he's hooked good. 15 mil, it's a pretty sweet size. Joe carries that Tackle Kingdom. 17 mil Coike. Almost liked it falling, kind of on a dead stick. So 17 mil Coike, 12-pound test, 1/8 decoy weight, 2/0 Ryugi talisman, and that's a 7.3 medium plus Zodius. Fun. I think I got an absolute giant in front of me. We're gonna go to the 17 mil Coike. See if I can trigger this fish with the 17 mil Coike. That's on the 17 mil Coike. Look at that. 17 mil Coike just absolutely inhaled. That took a lot of working to get him to go, but got the job done. That was with the 2/0 talisman. There we go. There we go. That's on the Mondo. Oh, he threw it. The fish threw it. No way. I think that was my only Mondo. But look at the size of this fish. I thought the bait was too big. I literally just cracked a 1 pounder, a 1 1/4 pounder on this. Lost my whole weight, everything. That was crazy. I'm wondering if it was just soft. I think I have one more I'll have to try. See if I can rig up one more. That's the Yamamoto Uni, the HD copper purple. They really like the Uni. I don't know if it's the sink rate. I'll tell you one thing. Joe's got a lot of those Unis. I was on the fall, so I did a couple of twitches, got his attention, slowed it down. I drove over him twice, so he's a little bit spooky. But as soon as I let it fall after a couple of twitches, that was it. So far, I'm noticing the Uni, it's got a little bit more weight, and it seems to fall just a hair faster. And because it's falling a little bit faster, I'm getting more bites on it. But the Coike is definitely drawing my bigger bites whenever the fish see it. I think this is a 1/8, or no, this is a 1/16. And the Coike's got a 1/8, but it's still falling a little too slow. If I was in shallower water, like I'm only fishing 10 to 15, but if I was in like 5 feet, or it was dead calm and they saw that splash, I think that'd be the difference maker. Hey guys, just basically showing you a video of how I rigged a lot of my urchins this week. Everything that I picked from Joe's store. Some of the weights and the hook sizes, and what worked and didn't work for me. So we'll start right off the hop with, we'll go with the Queen's Tackle here.
I was using a 15 mil porcupine with 1/0 talisman. The screw weight system, you could do either the decoy or the Picasso, which Joe carries. I got them on the sand colored one right here. That's with the green pumpkin screw-in weight and a 1/0 talisman. This was paired pretty much on an Ultegra with the new core PE 1.5 braided sinking line on a 610 medium. I actually wasn't sure how the casting was going to be with the shorter rod, but I had no issues at all. I did also try this rod on a 7-foot medium light Corrado as well, or the Queen Tackle Porcupine on a 7-foot medium light Corrado as well, but I was pretty much always using 8-pound braid. So I would basically just screw in this Picasso screw lock into this 1/0, and it was definitely tough to get that screw in there, but once you got it in there, it was locked in, and then I'd barely skin hook this. Then for the Uni, which actually was a phenomenal bait for me, I was a little bit surprised by it. I was running either a size 1 talisman or the 1/0 super finesse, and I was running that with the 1/16 ounce decoy sinker, and I'll show you guys how I rigged that there. So there it is. That's the bait right there. That's on a 7-foot medium light Corrado with the Mirabelle and 8-pound braid to a 10-pound leader. The same thing with the Queen's Tackle. That was a 10-pound leader as well. So I'll see if I could somehow hold this video up and show you how I rigged this quickly. I didn't plan this out well. I got an idea. I'll take the 2 Uni boxes. So basically, I would take, as you can see here, sorry for the close-up of my disgusting fingers, I would take this decoy weight, which this is the 1/16, and I'd find the hole that was created for the pin where it went through, and there it is right there. I would jam this through all the way through the bait till basically the eye of this just barely sticks out. So I'd wait until the eye of this just barely sticks out like that. You see how there's still skin there? Then I would take my hook, my 1/0. That's going to be hard to see, but I would basically pierce it through where the eye of that is. So I pierce it through the eye of the hook that the eye of the weight, and the barb just fits. I found with these talismans, the barb would just fit, kind of like that. I actually got a little bit more meat than I wanted, but then I would push the hook through a little bit further like that, so my gap would be a little bit larger. And that's how I was basically rigging anything with the decoy weight that went straight through the Urchin bait. So you could see with this guy, you could see it's barely skin hooked in the weight there as well. This guy took a beating. So that's basically how I was rigging most of my baits if I didn't use a screw lock. But I'm telling you right now, you'll almost never lose an Urchin. You basically got to snap off because that barb barely fits through the eye of these weights. And this weight would have to pull through. Now, I know part of the weight's sticking out, but I don't really think it affects it in any way. And then moving on up, I was using a 17 mil Coike. I'd run that with a 2/0, and I ran it with either a 1/8 or 3/32. This bait, the tentacles are a lot longer on this bait than most of the other ones in the market. The stopping power of this bait is pretty incredible. It pretty much stops on a dime. It definitely takes longer to sink. I ran this with 12-pound fluoro on the new 7'3" medium plus Zodius rod with 8-pound braid and an Ultegra. This was a phenomenal bait. Very impressed with it. I know they're expensive, but I think it was worth it. This, the Uni, and the Queen's Tackle one they all had their point in time. The only reason why I'm raving about this a little bit is I just found like when I saw a group of fish, it did draw out the bigger bite, but it was harder to cast and get it on top of their heads. Maybe I need to upgrade my weight a little bit better. The Uni, you could drop that thing like a rock pretty much on top of them. And that's even with, it didn't drop like a rock, but they would see it quicker. Then last but not least was the Seto Bait's, the Hydra Mondo, I think it's called. So for smallmouth up north where we were fishing, I wasn't getting many over 4.5 pounds. I got a lot of bites on this bait. I had a hard time hooking them. I don't know if it was just a little too big for what I was doing. I was impressed with how many bites I got with it. But I was rigging it on a size 1 Berkeley treble. And I took a video of how I rigged this bait. But it was on a size 1 Berkeley treble with the 3/16 or 1/4 ounce decoy. I actually thought the 3/16 was a better weight. The 1/4 ounce fell a little fast. I put this on a 7-foot medium heavy Corrado with 15-pound fluoro leader and 20-pound braided line. So what I was doing with this one actually has the 1/4 in it. Oh, did I rig that up? I would put the decoy weight through the bottom of this. I would have to pinch the barb a hair on this bait, and I would fold the treble all the way over. So you can kind of see when you're pulling this treble hook sits on the outside, and that's what you want to do. I don't like it when the treble hook's dead center of the bait. I like it when the treble hook's sticking out outside of the core circle part of the bait. So that was, it was a good bait. I think it'd probably be better for largies or maybe some really big smallmouth in some of those inland lakes where they're eating alewife, or maybe even Lake O or Erie or something like that. It might be perfect. I need more time to experiment with it. The one thing I will tell you about this bait, I'm pretty sure this was my only problem with it. If you use this bait, store it separately with its own type of baits. They come pre-salted, and I put it in my Gamakatsu box, this one here, and it unfortunately rusted out a lot of the pre-rigged hooks and baits that I had, and I think that was because of the salt and a bit of moisture. So I don't know if you could soak this bait first before you put it back in your box and dry it out, but just watch out for that. It was a great bait, well priced. So I mean, I don't know which one my favorite was. They all had a time and place, and they all had a purpose. I will say, I thought a 1/0 to 2/0 hook was a must with all of these baits. So that's just a little bit of my experience with these baits and how I rig them. Not saying this is the best way, but this is what worked for me. And I only lost 2 baits yesterday, or I lost 2 baits, one from a break off and one because I don't think I rolled one of the Seto baits. I don't think I rolled the hook over enough.